Lab 11, we will explore animal diversity, similar than we did plant diversity. So you're going to read the introductory information. Again, those bold-faced words are really helpful for tests and quizzes. And look at all the terms, things like symmetry, bilateral, do some practice problems. There are some vocabulary practice labeling. And then we have instructions. It's very similar to the plant one, but you sometimes get a little confused. All right, so just like before, you're going to use the PowerPoint slides that are in Canvas and in the lab manual. And the first thing you need to decide is a vertebrate or invertebrate. So let's start there. So let's look at our example, which is going to be our shrimp. So again, I'm in the PowerPoint. So we have a shrimp that has an exoskeleton, jointed legs, and 2 pairs of antennae. And all of these pieces of information are going to be very important for the quiz. So we're going to go back to our key, and you're going to pick one of 2 choices. So body symmetry radial, not radial. Well, it's not radial. So now we're going to go to number 3. Radial means kind of like a tire spokes, like in a circle. So it's not radial. So we're going to go to 3. Exoskeleton present or absent? Well, it was present. So we're going to go to 4. Jointed legs, present or absent? We had jointed legs, so we're going to go to the phylum Arthropoda. So if it's in the phylum Arthropoda, then you have a second thing to do, which is to go through the second key. All right, so let's figure out where we're going to write that first. So here was our shrimp. So this first set, 1B, 3A, 4A, etc., is going to be the steps that we took to get to phylum Arthropoda. So then you're going to put in the phylum and all of the characteristics. Again, that's going to help you study for that quiz. So what was the characteristics of the phylum Arthropoda? They were not radial. They had an exoskeleton. They had jointed legs. But because we were in the phylum Arthropoda, we're going to continue. So let's go back to our shrimp picture. Jointed legs, 2 pairs of antennae. So you can see their little walking legs and their antennae. Okay, so let's go back. And you can look at your choices, 1A or 1B. 5 or fewer pairs of walking legs, which is true. So we're going to put 1B, then we're going to go to 3. Antennae present. Well, they did have antennae. So now we're going to go to 4. So you went 3A, now we're going to 4. 1 pair of antennae, which was true. I'm sorry, more than 1 pair of antennae, sorry, which was the class Crustacea. So you're going to do both of that. So 1B, 3B, 4B, or 1B, 3A, 4B, class Crustacea, and again, write down all those characteristics. Now, if it's not in the phylum Arthropoda, then you're just going to use the first key. So for example, let's go to our next one, which is Planaria, exoskeleton absent. So let's go to our choices. They do not have radial symmetry, so we're going to go to 3. So that was 1B. We're going to go to 3. Exoskeleton absent, so that's 3B. Now we're going to go to 5. We have asymmetrical or bilateral symmetry. Well, they have bilateral symmetry, so now that's 5B we're going to record. We're going to go to 6. Body flattened or segmented. Well, they are flat, so that would give us 6B, which is the phylum Platyhelminthes. So you don't need to go to that other key unless you are going to get to that phylum Arthropoda. So here is all of our characteristics of Planaria, and you're going to continue that with the sponge, the crayfish, etc. Then that's your first photo. You're going to do the exact same thing with the vertebrates. So exact same idea. This one's actually a little bit easier. So there's the key for that one, meaning the table to put your data. That's photo 2. Crossword is photo 3. So that's a great place to practice your vocabulary words. And then the last photo is similar to when we did the plants. So now you're going to find an animal. So let's say you have a dog, and you're going to put your name and the date on an index card. Dog, because that's the name of the animal, and then what phylum it's in. So dogs are in the phylum Chordata, and they're in the class Mammalia. If you don't have an animal at your house, it doesn't have to be alive. So if you have a bag of chicken or you have shrimp in the refrigerator or deli meat, those are from animals. Those would all be fine for this particular photo.